Some way to get the evening underway. The final session of action from Stage 2 Red Spa at the Cazoo UK Open. 4 matches in the last 16, starting with perhaps the quickest match you will see on TV this year. It could be the quickest match you see on TV ever. Rapid Ricky Evans, the fastest darts player in the world, versus the teenage sensation from Ireland that is Keane Barry. We have a lineup on Stage 2 that some might say rivals that on Stage 1. Some might say is better than that on Stage 1. Not only do we have this lightning quick contest between the Kettering man and the teenager from Ireland, but we've got Ryan Searle, finalist in this venue at the Players' Championship Finals at the back end of last year, against the story of the weekend, another teenager from Poland, Sebastian Bielecki. We've got Mensur Suljovic on his 50th birthday against the world finalist Michael Smith, and Damon Heta and Johnny Clayton, who are not only brilliant but bang in form. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson alongside me, and strap yourselves in for this one because it is going to be very, very quick, and it might well be very, very good as well.
Great start to the evening with 2 players who could not be more different. You've got the exuberant, rapid Ricky Evans wearing a dart shirt that makes him look like he's part of 1980s bubblegum. And then you've got the ever-focused Keane Barry, who doesn't give a hoot about YMCA.
Yeah, contrasting characters, but their playing styles are very, very similar. And when you look at their performances over the course of this tournament so far, neither of these guys in the top 32 in the world, so they weren't seeded through to round 4. They've had to play a few games. But Keane Barry has outperformed Rapid Ricky Evans over the course of the tournament, in terms of the averages at least. More on that in a moment. Not going to have time to draw breath in this game.
Yeah, you're right there. Bit of a slip into the 5 there for Keane. He's going to choose the switch, and a very good choice it was. So for our first Ton Plus checkout of the night in the very first leg, not to be. So Keane has a chance to break in leg 1 with this 2-darter. Tops. Very authoritative from Dynamite. Now, the thing about Keane Barry this year is that we are seeing improvement throughout the course of his life, which sees him at a point where he's still half my age. Actually, even less than that. That's not depressing at all. But I think we're all very proud of him, and we're all very hopeful for him. We don't want to put pressure on him, but we just love who he is and what he could be. He is an astonishing talent with a head on his shoulders that is well above his age. He's an incredible human being.
Absolutely. Start of the weekend with a brace of 6-2 wins against David Evans and Jeffrey Desvan. Then he saw Riley's qualifier Graham Hall 10-7 and came through in a last leg decider against Neil Zonneveld. As Dynamite Keane Barry hits the first 180 of this contest, and he's on 81 after just 9 darts thrown.
Plenty of time to dispose of this. And what this is right here from 81 is a layup. He wasn't messing around by leaving small doubles there. That was definitively go for the single, go for the single, go for the single, and now get rid of it. Quite simple and brilliant. 2-0 Barry in what felt like about 90 seconds.
Well, Ricky Evans just inside the world's top 40. He has been a top 32 player in the past, but he's drifted a little in the world rankings. Meant that he had to come in at round 3, beat Danny Jansen 6-2. Really good display as well, averaged a ton. Then he survived match darts against Darius Labanauskas, but he did come back from 8-2 down to win it 10-9. And then won another tight one against Scott Waits, but the averages, nothing to write home about. Didn't get into the 90s in those. If he plays like that again, I make Keane Barry the favourite to win this, because I think Keane is playing at a consistent level here. He's always been in the 90s, and in a couple of performances up towards 100.
95.
The main reason I give Keane the edge in this game is because he has, in my opinion, a slightly more honed focus right now, and a much improved rhythm this year. At times during the pandemic, when he was playing online, he was playing too quick. He was having trouble with his grip. He's got no issues with that right now. and his rhythm has never been better than it is here this weekend.
46, Ricky 150.
A major quarter-final spot on the line. Treble 20. Can't find it.
79.
Does very well to navigate around that first start in the 19s.
48 bull. Yep, I know how he thinks. Well, he got the bull at the end. Just missed out the treble 16. First leg for Ricky Evans, and he's got plenty of support. Not just because of that boisterous walk-on, but I know that James Richardson and his wife Carolyn are here to support him, as well as some other
96.
people he knows very well from Northamptonshire. They've all made the trip down the A14 and the associated roads that get them to Minehead. But Reds Bar has given us a hush at the start of Saturday night. Everybody's keen to see, no pun intended, who's going to make the quarterfinals.
Well, Keane Barry has never found himself in a major quarterfinal. He actually hadn't won 2 games back-to-back in a big TV event in senior darts. Obviously, he's not played many, but this is uncharted territory for him. Ricky Evans has only made 1 major quarterfinal before, 3 years ago at the European Championship.
What Keane is doing in his career so far is he's trying to almost improve on every step he's done along the way.
98.
And almost mimicking what Ricky tried to do in his youth days, because Ricky was a top England player at youth level.
60.
But what Keane is doing is, at his level, he's elite. Another 16 for tops.
52.
He's finding himself in front quite heavily on multiple occasions already. Is that going to be a telling factor, I think?
96. Can you require 20?
Well, to re-establish the 2-leg gap. There it is. Lovely stuff from Keane Barry. 19 years old, through his first 180, age 4.
Get out.
60.
No, it's disgusting, isn't it?
That is that a regulation height as well?
I think it was actually, yeah. He said his dad used to have a sort of shortened hockey throw, but when he wasn't looking, he'd go back and throw from the normal distance because he didn't like being treated like a kid. He wanted to play properly.
58.
I want a full documentary about Keane Barry. I want to be hearing from the parents and everybody associated with him, because I love this kid. I want to see him succeed, but he's going to be such a story.
Well, look, I mean, at 19 years old,
44.
there's plenty of people 19 years old have never left the local town where they're from. This lad, not only has grown up in Ireland, as he pops in a 171 to leave himself on a 2-darter, and it could be another leg where he's winning it in an absolute canter, but he's spending time on the tour, travelling all around Europe. His girlfriend Barbara's based in the Czech Republic, so he's over there all the time. Like, he's a well-travelled man. He's going out and seeing the world. He's mature beyond his years, Keane Barry.
He's got a reality that people could only dream about, and he's got this reality at 19.
40.
Keane for 4-1. There will be a break after 10 legs, of course, in this best of 19 leg match. He can slide it to the left here.
20.
Again, like other legs, he's got time to breathe. This is what Ricky Evans has got to close up. He can't give Keane time on the outer ring.
100.
Hasn't got much time left.
Can you require 20?
Well, first maximum for Rapid Ricky Evans. And it comes to absolutely nothing, because Keane Barry gives it a bit of the old Labanauskas, holds the pose as he sneaks that in the corner. It is 4-1 to the 19-year-old.
Are you telling me that he was born in 2001?
No, come on. Come on, Jose. That can't be right, can it?
60.
It's 2022, isn't it?
Oh, of course. He was 18 in 2020 because he celebrated his 18th birthday by playing in the Live League online during the pandemic, and he played from his kitchen. I remember that day.
Many a great darts moment has been created in the old kitchen. Ask Luke Woodhouse, a man who the aforementioned Darius Labanauskas refers to as Mr. Kitchen 9 Dart.
50. 58.
Mr. Kitchen 9 Dart.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Look how he says that. Whenever I see him, he comes up to me, he says, "Hello, Mr. Kitchen 9 Dart."
I'm so gonna call him that.
96.
Now, Ricky Evans, on this second stage, as always, we've got the break after 10 legs. Now, at the minute,
94.
Ricky probably would have preferred it if we had one after 5 here, just so he can gather his thoughts. Maybe Keane Barry might go off the boil,
96.
because at the minute he's dictating terms, Keane Barry. Oh, perfect first start for him. He wants it low in the bed to stack on top of it.
140. Ricky
Couldn't
with
stick the
109.
final dart on there.
That's a great second dart from Ricky.
93.
Just wires the double
Keane
16 for
with
the out.
108.
And Keane's got a chance of widening the gap to 4. The 19's awkward. But he wanted the single to leave double 16.
92.
This is by a similar margin on the
16.
same bed.
Going over the top of it. In between. Yeah, that's exactly where he puts it. Ricky Evans, it got more awkward by the darts, but he found the target. That is only the second leg. He's been allowed darts at double. He's won them both. That is key.
100.
I've just been looking back at Keane's career. It seems strange to be saying his career at 19 years of age. But he's won almost
84.
everything that a youth player can win. He's still got plenty of time to win the PDC World Youth Championship. But
96.
things like the World Championship in the BDO, World Masters, he won that, of course, at the Circus Tavern. The same year that John O'Shea won the World Masters. That was a bit of a weekend for the Irish. But he hadn't won the World Cup Boys.
58.
And he did come up short in a couple of other things. But to be fair to him, it's one of those elite youth careers
100.
that we will always talk about. But now, this is a totally different game. This is for a major quarter-final. It's a 19-year-old kid who will probably go up against the elite tomorrow if he comes through this. And then we'll put him in the same bracket as, say, MVG when he won the World Masters at 17.
Well, he leaves the 118 that he's already had a look at.
60.
He ended up low on the treble 20 and having to take a different route. He's going to go for the treble 20 there and double 19. There it is. Beautiful stuff from Keane Barry. Couldn't get it the first time. Gets it this time. A break back immediately. 5-2.
I'm going to pay Keane Barry the best compliment I can possibly pay him.
100.
Because for me, he's got one of the best temperaments on tour. And he almost reminds me of a very young Tiger Woods. Because
58.
he's the kind of sports person who just doesn't get flustered by anything. And he's got a focus that can only be described as machine-like.
100.
Well, I do just love the way that he's taking everything in his stride. And he is. You can see him making progress month by month as you watch him. But at the same time, he is not... He wants it, of course he does. But he's not
97.
forcing it. He's just going, I can see myself moving in the right direction. That just has to continue. Doesn't matter how quickly I get there. I want to get there. The aim is be a world champion. The aim is be one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world. You should have those aims as a lad with his CV.
108.
And you can see he's got the raw materials to do an awful lot of exciting things in this game.
He's outscoring
46.
someone who can score very
King
heavily.
24.
Double 12. That's fine. That's not. But that is genius! Oh my word!
Ricky to throw first. Game on.
How did he do that?
I don't know. It looked like it went in differently. I don't want to... It may just be a bit of a fluke, but unless he threw that in a slightly different way because he felt he had to try and get underneath those darts.
I'm in shock by that dart. That may be the best dart I've seen all week.
57.
It was a cracker. And he is 6-2 up here. Averaging 95 again. This is the level he's been operating at all weekend. Now, he may, if he is going to keep on going and do something ridiculous and find himself in the semis or the final or win it, believe you me, he's got the game where he could do it. It would be a surprise, but he could do it. He may need to find another game. He may need to find that ton plus average if he goes up against somebody who is firing against him. But right now, this looks like more than enough against Ricky Evans.
140.
He has a very individual dart, doesn't he? It looks like it's been hit with a lot of bullets.
I like it. I think it's a smart-looking bit of kit.
124.
And game. Double 8. This is mint. That's the only way I can describe it. I've gone full-on Geordie for him there, because this is just pure and utter mint. 7-2 to Keane Barry, and he hasn't broken his sweat.
124 checkout to add to the 118 he hit a couple of legs ago.
60.
He has had 16 darts at double in this game. Ricky Evans has only been allowed 5. And they've been spread across 2 legs. That's it.
96.
The other 7 legs, Keane Barry has won a lot of them with Ricky Evans just a speck on the horizon.
140.
The key to this performance has been the genius of the first dart. He's taken the pressure off the rest of the visit by planting that first dart in the bottom 50% of that 60 a lot of the time. That forces him to switch because there were small flights. They tip back, and that heavier barrel, it lands very similar to how Taylor used to land his darts
81.
back around 2005.
Yeah, sort of skids the dart into the board almost.
93.
And again, picks up a big treble. He is down to a finish first. Ricky Evans needs another treble. Doesn't get it, and that's not enough to apply pressure. He's going to have to pull out something miraculous, and hope Keane Barry doesn't do it before him.
58. Ricky
It's got to be the 19, surely. Comes up dry, and Keane has got a chance for 8-2 here. 60 for double 16, gets the 60, double 8.
84.
Big chance missed. In every likelihood, based on what we've seen, he will be back.
Ricky Evans cannot find the treble. I think it was a wise decision. Well, he's hit the ton to leave double 3. It probably does not matter. Keane Barry, 8 required for 8-2.
4.
A let-off. And there is a tiny little glimmer of hope for Rapid Ricky Evans.
Is there? On double 1?
No score.
He's giving it back to Keane. And double 2 is a good double for him, because if he misses low, he can skid it in like you say, Dan. Doesn't need a skidder. 8-2 up. But we do have to say that Ricky Evans will have to massage all of the belief that he has in his system, because he's already done it once this weekend. He's going to have to do it again sometime in the next few minutes. We're going to take a short break, as will the players, but when we come back, it's 8-2 to Keane Barry, and Rapid leaves the stage feeling very bereft.
Dynamite Keane Barry in dominant mood here against Rapid Ricky Evans, who is quick but has not been finding his targets on any kind of consistent basis so far in this contest, and he may have left himself far too much to do. He did come from 8-2 down against Darius Labanauskas a couple of rounds ago. That was nearly a 3-second 180 from Ricky Evans there. But can he do the same against Keane Barry? 8-2 is a ridiculous margin to try and overturn in a best-of-19 game.
Especially when it's about 15 between the averages as well, Dan.
Yeah.
93 for Keane Barry, which is very competent. Now that may seem harsh of me to just say competent, but we're talking about the elite here.
100.
He has missed a few doubles, Keane Barry. He's missed 15, but when your opponent's averaging 79, you're afforded a few misses.
Well, let's put it this way. Keane Barry is 8-2 up, and statistically, this is the worst performance he's had in a best-of-19 game this weekend, because he won 10-7 against Graham Hall, 10-9 against Neil Zonneveld, and his averages were almost 100, and then bang on 97. Here, it's down at 93. He's got more in the tank.
81.
The last thing he needs is to allow Ricky Evans to get 3 straight, to get back to 8-5 and start planting that seed of doubt. If he can share legs
99.
in the first 2, then I think he'll have done enough to give himself plenty of chances to win the match.
Share legs in the first 4, and he has won the match.
100. Ricky require 80.
An enviable position for Keane Barry. Double 10.
Game shot the 11th leg.
Well,
Ricky.
that's a start.
One-legged Keane to throw first. Game on.
And if Ricky Evans is going to get darts at double in a leg, he wins the leg. That's been the pattern. Unfortunately, very rarely is he getting darts at double in a leg.
Doesn't mind a comeback either.
Simon Whitlock of the world.
Oh, yeah. It was a great celebration. It was a great game and a great comeback.
134.
Simon wouldn't agree.
Oh, he's had some comebacks of his own.
Yeah, what goes around comes around, right?
Exactly. Well, I promise you, whoever wins this game, even if we do go to a last leg decider, will be the first man through to the quarterfinals of the UK Open this year. Because it's going to finish before Dirk van Duijvenbode and Danny Noppert on the main stage. They're 2 apiece.
100.
What do you think the score's going to be with the 2 Dutchmen on stage when this one's over? I'm going to say 5-3.
161.
You might not be wrong. Okay, leaves himself on a 2-darter, but this is a real chance for Ricky Evans to break the Barry throw. Treble 19 and bull. Gets the first bit. Good leave.
Good seeing.
97.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Double 19, double top. Ooh, convencional.
57.
I'm surprised by that.
40.
I really thought he was going to go for the double 19 for double top. And Ricky Evans has got 2 straight. So he's trying to get the crowd involved.
13 legs, Ricky to throw first.
But we already know that Keane Barry's going to have none of that. He's just going to do his own thing.
Well, we saw Danny Baggish pull off an unlikely comeback on this board yesterday from 5-1 down to win 6-5 against John Michael. And he did it powered, spurred on by the crowd who got behind him. And he was engaging with them. He was saying, I need 4 more, I need 3 more, I need 2 more, as he carried on ticking off leg by leg by leg. And if Ricky Evans can just do something,
108.
and he is doing something, then maybe he can start to make Keane worry. You're not going to see anything change on his face, Keane Barry, but you might, you can't help but make him worry a little bit, because Ricky Evans can be devastated if he gets going.
What on earth did he say to himself in the break?
Probably, I've got him right where I want him, just like Darius Labanauskas.
66. He's gone for 16 bull. Oh. I don't know if that was the bullseye wear or the 25. It was rattly. I think it might have been the 25.
There sounded a lot of metal there.
126. Ricky require 50.
That was creative.
I like it. Ricky will like this. If he finds double 10.
30. You require 24.
Is Rapid Ricky Evans a squeaky toy? Is he being rattled by the big dog that is Keane Barry? And he can't find another surgical double 12.
Ricky require 20.
Wow, Ricky Evans. Oh.
No score.
Well, squeaky bum time for Ricky Evans as he literally squeaks his way through the back end of this leg. Double 6.
12.
And he is missing for the first time in this match, Keane Barry.
Well, Ricky Evans has already hit double 5 in this leg. He hits double 10. I don't know whether you caught that, Dan, but in busting the previous shot, he hit the double that he missed.
Yeah, I think he's going for another single 5, isn't he? And it's accidentally gone in the double, which is, unless he was going for the double, which is mad, because if you miss high, you come back and you're going to have to waste the dart. But Ricky Evans is an unconventional man.
All you've got to think about is the dancing he was doing in his garden with his dad during lockdown. I mean, that was pretty much the best entertainment through the pandemic for me.
Well, different strokes, different folks. 3 legs on the spin for Rapid Ricky Evans. Exactly what Paul Nicholson said. Keane Barry cannot let happen.
We definitely can't afford another 3 in a row. Otherwise, we've got a level game.
Well, I mentioned that Ricky Evans was 8-2 down to Labanauskas. In the previous round against Neil Zonneveld, Keane Barry was 8-4 up on him. and he found himself 8-9 behind before winning the last couple of legs. So these two have got form for this kind of nonsense.
99.
So what you're saying is Keane Barry's just biding his time. Well, I think that last dart was the right play to try and lead the two darter. But Keane needs something to happen. He needs an accelerant. Oh, that's good. But he has left a double. He's had trouble on the last leg.
Quite. 84 left. Well, he went treble 16 for double 18. He can't get it. Keane Barry, double 12, caused you problems last leg. No problem this time around. Keane Barry holds throw. He is one leg away from a major quarter final.
Really interesting that Keane just pointed to the board as if to say, oh, that's where you are. That's the first time I've ever seen Keane really have a word with the board. Are we seeing him a little bit ticked off that this game has gone so long? Is he ready to get rid of it?
He had it all his own way. There was a little wobble after the break as Ricky Evans undoubtedly raised his game. But I think Keane Barry has just put his foot down and he's not standing for any more of this silliness.
Irish darts is in such a good place.
434.
We can talk about it for hours, but we're so encouraged and we're lucky to have this young lad.
78.
Evans has put up a massive fight, but that fight might be coming to an end in the next 60 seconds.
42. Can you go 112?
Keane Barry, a world champion in the JDC and in the BDO youth system,
80.
has just missed a dart for a spot in a senior major quarter final, but he is going to get more.
Well, you know Ricky wanted to leave double one there,
83.
but it really doesn't matter
32.
because it's all up to this young lad. Double 8.
16.
It's not done yet. That's 4 match darts. And Ricky Evans will go a little bit joyful if he finds 99. Tops.
39.
Now surely is the moment for Keane Barry. A spot in the last 8 of the UK Open for the teenager.
Game shot.
It's his! Keane Barry races through that game. 15 legs of darts in what? 25 minutes. Ricky Evans had a little tiny spell as he tried to work his way back from 8-2 down. But Keane Barry was not having any of it. And this sensational weekend for the youngster from Ireland will continue into the final day. He could turn out to be the story of the weekend, but right now maybe it's Sebastian Bielecki, another teenager. The Pole is up next as he takes on the Players' Championship Finals runner-up, the man who went all the way to the final here in Minehead at the back end of last year. It is heavy metal Ryan Searle.